It's winter in Alaska, and some of the places I like to go mining are not accessible anymore, not safely anyway. And so I'm actually coming out here to see if I could find a spot among the snow and ice where I could dig. On the path down, I see some gravels here. Those would be interesting, but I don't think they're very good. That river is sure flowing, and it's hard to tell what is actually gravel with snow on it or just ice on it. So we'll have to tread careful. Most of this is frozen. Pretty solid besides what's in the water right now. So I can actually see I'm on gravel. There's a few stray rocks here. But look at this. That water is right up to this gravel and being pushed into that ice. So at any point that water could crest over if something happens above. I found a safe edge with the shallow gravels. But you see all the slush in the water. Temperatures are dropping, it's happening. The sun's not down yet, but it's almost. 1:49 p.m. and this is our daylight in December. This spot, the water gets fairly deep. I would need to trek a different route to get around this effectively. I don't feel like getting wet today. And we got the ice line to the gravel bar here. Check out this beautiful green stone. It's laced with quartz or calcite. It feels relatively heavy, but I know it's not jade, it's a serpentine. Jasper would have a more uniform green to it or be banded, but the weight of this is a serpentine. So I'm often asked, if you're an Alaska gold hunter, why aren't you mining in Alaska? That's a fair enough question, but I do love to travel. I love to see different sites and go all over, and sometimes just life takes you where you got to help family, you got to do something, you got to go somewhere to do it. And while you're there, might as well go gold prospecting. I've taken a little hike today trying to see if there was any open water out here with safe working of ice that I could actually prospect and do a little panning, but I'm just not finding it. And I've traveled vast ways out in this river system to try and find a single spot. You can see lines down here below this little ridge where the water used to flow, and you don't know what's under there. There could be an ice gap or something and you fall in. Across the river there's a nice little side bend, little braid of the river that might have been doable, but there's an ice ledge over it too. Might be able to see it right here. See that ice overhanging? You don't know how far back that ice is just getting eaten away by the flow of the water. And during winter, these rivers are something you definitely need to respect. And right now, the time is just after 2:30, and the sun is already going down. Only the highest points are still lit up. You can even see those hills have the east shadows showing because the sun is so far over to the west. That's where that ice is overhanging from the side, and from here you can't tell. If you stepped out on that and you didn't see it from down below and was careful about it, you could end up falling right into the river. Getting gold in Alaska is definitely a tough thing to do in the winter. That's why I normally save my concentrates and all the powdery stuff to do at home, because I have more time when I can't be out here digging or finding good spots that are in this barren frozen stuff to actually dig. So I try to make the most of the time I have anywhere I go, whether it be down in the States, lower 48, or summertime in Alaska, to pile up and get my digging done and work the materials and save my concentrates for home. I'm trekking back the way I came because it was safe and I don't have to figure anything out. So downstream here, you notice it's kind of barren. There's a few straggler of branches, small trees and such, but when you pan over this way, it's all over. Tons and tons of debris from floods, breakup season, all of that. Upstream, this river constricts down to a narrow area and then opens up to this vast wide area. This area here is an example of what to look for on these wide rivers where they open up. So we've got a little drop. We've got a little drop and dip. We've got a ridge of gravel materials. But we have this woody debris. Coming over here, you can see this woody debris sheltered some materials from being swept by the current. But behind it, it dips down into a bowl. In that bowl, the current is washing over, coming down, and pushing the lights out of there. While it does that, it's concentrating heavier materials down into the bowl. Up here at the top of the screen, you can see one of the channels that forms out. We're not going to traverse over that as we don't know if there's any holes from ice or previous water flows. But that is one of the braids of the river when it's flowing really high. Along this edge is a nice little cut of material where the water is washed out. At the bottom of these, you'll often get a more dense black sand from the concentration of the water flow, where you find these cuts on gravelly rivers. So while this material may not be the most rich, you figure if the bank were out to here and it's washed and concentrated all in this line along the bank outside of the channel only when it's high, there could be some concentrations that'd be worth searching for here. This gold is not from today, but this is the kind of gold that you can get from those kind of glacial river deposits. And it all adds up.